About to be joined by TJ Rives, the sideline reporter for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, also the host of the Three Dog Thursday podcast. Before we get to TJ, do want to let you know this segment is brought to you by Pratco Fishing. Nothing says summer fun like fishing with a Thrill Bobber with the family. America's favorite float by Thrill are available in various sizes and color. These premier Baselwood floats are made by the thousands at Pratco here in Fort Smith in the River Valley, Arkansas. They are great at detecting the slightest bites by fish and work great in tandem with crickets and redworms. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shop, Academy, and tackle shops everywhere. America's favorite float by Thrill. TJ Rives, Tampa Bay Buccaneers sideline reporter, host of the Three Dog Thursday. TJ, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. I know today is a very busy schedule, and I really appreciate you fitting some time. How are you doing today?
I am fantastic. It's great to hear your voice. It's great to have the NFL back, and I think there might be a little bit of interest in this Buccaneers game with the Dallas Cowboys to start the season. Just slightly, right? You might care a little bit about it in Northwest Arkansas, right?
Yeah, just a bit. A lot of Cowboys fans out here in the natural state, and let's go ahead and just jump in with the season opener, the rings, the banners, everything else that comes with celebrating a Super Bowl win the next season, and then that's just for the Tampa Bay side, Tom Brady, and then you talk about the Cowboys coming off of a very important offseason. Dak seems to be back healthy. Hopefully this show, he'd never played in preseason. We got to see 5 weeks of them on Hard Knocks. I can't remember of more anticipation leading into the first game of the season, when you had the defending champions plus Hard Knocks in a long time.
Yeah, it's a good point that you make. There has been a calculated build-up by the NFL to this game. I think everybody believed when they saw the schedule after the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl and knew the Cowboys were on the Buccaneers' home schedule that this was going to be the first game to roll it out in prime time, standalone, and start the NFL year. And now it is here. And I know that from the Cowboys' standpoint, they want to get the bad taste out of their mouth. Obviously, Dak Prescott injured a year ago and it derailed their whole season. So they come in as kind of trying to recoup something. Meanwhile, the Bucs are trying to defend something. It's interesting. You said it first. I didn't have to say defending Super Bowl champions on this show. You said it first. You're the defending champ. You're trying to go back to back. And believe me when I tell you, in this town, that has been all of the talk now for weeks and weeks and weeks leading to this game, that here we go with the defense of the title, and can the Buccaneers go back to back? If they do, they would be the first team since Tom Brady's New England Patriots in 2003 and 2004. That's the last back-to-back Super Bowl winners, guys.
Brady doesn't lose these opening games too much. He's used to playing in them with so many Super Bowl championships. And I don't know. I'm at this point in my life, TJ, where I doubted Tom Brady for like the first 5 years of his career, and I'm at the point now where I just start the season with, all right, what team is he on? All right, that's probably the favorite to win the Super Bowl. And sometimes it shouldn't be that simple, but for me it really is now.
Well, I think that's for a lot of other people that have said that for so many years in New England that you could almost just write them in ink as an 11 or 12-win team, and they're going to be in the playoffs, if not the Super Bowl. So it's good to have that expectation here in Tampa. And look, I'm not trying to rub the salt in the wounds of the Cowboy fans that you have in your audience, but this whole thing about America's team, I realize they are very popular. They get extra eyeballs. There's probably 3 or 4 million extra eyeballs on that game tonight because Dallas is in it, more so than New England or Pittsburgh or any other brand name, the Green Bay Packers, etc. I get that. But when you contemplate that we have had like probably 5 or 6 graduating college classes of students that are now in their mid-20s to late 20s, guys, that have never seen the Dallas Cowboys in a Super Bowl. They haven't been in a Super Bowl in 25 years. Tom Brady has been in 11 of them, as you just said. So that is mind-blowing to contemplate. The Cowboys haven't been in this game in this century, haven't been in the Super Bowl, and Tom Brady's been there 11 times. So that's kind of the backdrop for tonight. Can Dallas begin to reclaim some of it? I don't think anybody's under the delusion that Dallas is a Super Bowl contender, but can they get back to respectability? And the other big part is, what is Dak Prescott going to look like tonight? He hasn't played at all in the preseason, off the surgery on the ankle, shoulder supposedly bothering him. What is he going to look like tonight, guys? I don't even know that Dak Prescott knows.
That was what I was going to get into next here. I mean, Brady's healthy, and so that puts Tampa Bay in a position where you already know what you're going to get out of Tom Brady, or at least you would expect to. Nobody knows. Like you just said, it's not even fans, media. The coaches don't know. Mike McCarthy doesn't know. The receivers that Dak is throwing to, they don't know if he's healthy or not. So that's fascinating going into this game tonight.
Yeah, and they've shown in the Dallas media where they've been out at practice for the first 30 minutes that they can show video. They've shown him warming up. They've shown him throwing some passes. But even in a scrimmage situation, which they had on Hard Knocks with the Rams or whatever, that's not a game. And what will it look like tonight when you've got Buccaneer pass rushers like Jason Pierre-Paul and Shaq Barrett and this rookie? Get used to this rookie's name, Joe Tryon Shoyinka. Shoyinka is the new hyphenated version of his name. Joe Tryon is his name, out of the University of Washington as a pass rusher. He is a fantastic defensive end pass rusher in the Buccaneers scheme. So they're going to get after Dak Prescott tonight. And then again, what does he look like when he is under pressure? 3, 4, 5 guys coming at him on accuracy, timing. We're about to all find out together. I was really surprised that the Cowboys didn't put him out at least for a series or two in the final preseason game with Jacksonville to see what he looked like and what he needed to work on, because you just can't replicate that in practice.
You really can. I mean, there's something to be said about in a game getting hit and knowing that you're going to get back up, knowing that and have that confidence that you can bounce right off back to the turf, go back to the huddle, and restart it. And, you talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense who made, Patrick Mahomes last year in the Super Bowl look like an average quarterback out there just running for his life. And it's going to be interesting to see how Dallas helps prepare for that, and especially with one of the biggest news of the week with Zach Martin, the guard for the Dallas Cowboys, being out due to COVID, and that's been a huge story, not just during the offseason, but for the last 18 months that we've been dealing with COVID-19 through the United States and around the world. How has the COVID-19 protocol been, you think, received in Tampa? Because we know it's been mixed around a lot of places and between a lot of different guys.
Well, so there's several layers. The first one is they're going to welcome back full capacity of fans tonight, and all the NFL stadiums are doing that, and they're leaving it up to the local health officials, the local government, as to what do you want to do with vaccination or not, negative COVID testing or not. In Florida, it's not required, so that's not going to be the case. The next part is Bruce Arians has been very concerned, and obviously the Bucs were practicing with the Tennessee Titans, and Mike Vrabel, the coach, had it, and now several Titans players right after that, over the last 2 weeks, got it, gave it to each other. Thankfully, it wasn't bad for the Buccaneers, save for their kicker. Ryan Suckup, the kicker, had gone to dinner with several of his former Tennessee Titan teammates, and he got it. The Bucs haven't really had a problem other than that. So the COVID testing and the guidelines have gone well. You just wonder here, because, again, fortunately for the Cowboys, it didn't result in several offensive linemen maybe having COVID-19, which would have been a real disaster, on can you play the game if enough guys at that kind of position can't play. Hopefully we don't go down that road right now of what happens if there are outbreaks at certain position groups, but we will see. I mean, the NFL is putting a lot of faith in players being vaccinated and players being responsible, and the honor system. Drew and guys, we'll see how far that goes.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how far it goes, and hopefully everybody is honest to kind of help stop the spread of this and keep everybody safe in the NFL. I know you're down there in Tampa, but it's in the same state, and it feels like nationally Jacksonville has been looked like as a dumpster fire over the last few months with bringing Tim Tebow on, then cutting him. Trevor Lawrence now is named the captain as a rookie, and Urban Meyer doesn't realize that he's talking to the NFL media instead of friendly Florida media and just Ohio State, and keeps getting himself in a lot of trouble. Has he been viewed, throughout, I guess, local area of Florida as it being a dumpster fire like it's been kind of nationally?
I think yes, and I know it's another NFL franchise, so it's easy for us to throw rocks at them or them to throw rocks at us. But they were going to be a mess anyway. They are devoid of talent, even with drafting Trevor Lawrence. And of course, they draft the running back Travis Etienne out of Clemson, and he gets hurt in the preseason and isn't able to play at all this year. He's out for the year with a foot injury. The line that I've always heard, you guys try it out, you can use it yourselves. The Jaguars are not just 3 or 4 players away from being relevant again. They're 3 or 4 players away from being 3 or 4 players away from being relevant again. They need about 7 or 8 more guys to help that roster on both sides of the ball. So it's gonna be a rough year. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is going to lose more games before Halloween than he lost at Clemson. Get ready. So it's going to be a trying time for Urban Meyer, who has enjoyed nothing but winning and success and national championships at Ohio State and Florida previously, to take his lumps, but that is what's going to happen. They may very well get a win here in this opening game against the other dumpster fire in their division, the Houston Texans, to the southwest of you. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Jacksonville isn't going to still be only a 2 or 3 win team just because they can beat Houston once at the beginning of the year. Houston and Jacksonville may be vying for the number 1 pick, and whoever beats who may cost the other team may cost yourselves the number 1 pick between the Jaguars and the Texans. We'll see what happens. Lawrence is going to take his lumps, but yeah, clearly Jacksonville's a mess.
TJ Rives with us for just a couple more minutes here, sideline reporter for the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Bucs.
You said it again. I didn't have to say it. I like that.
Yeah, you don't have to. It's okay. It goes in front of the team for the rest of the season, and then they start using the word defending. Well, there's a huge college football game happening in Fayetteville on Saturday. The only reason I bring this up is because nobody in Arkansas likes the color orange at all, and they'll make fun of burnt orange for very, very good reasons, and they'll point out that nobody looks good wearing orange no matter what kind it is. So I would just ask you, what makes Bay orange better than burnt orange?
Well, and there has been so much talk about going back to the old school Bucco Bruce logo and the orange, and the Buccaneers have not been able to do that because the NFL concussion requirement is you play with the same helmet all year long, same logo, same helmet. And so they haven't, because that's gone on for a decade. They can't go back to the white helmet with the Bucco Bruce and wear the orange. The word is for 2022, they can do that. The NFL has now done the concussion studies for the 10 years with players and the same helmet. And so when that's the case, they're going to probably pull the orange out a couple of times. And there are a lot of people here in favor of it, as Doug Williams and the late Leroy Selman from Oklahoma, not far from you, always said, we never had any problem winning in the orange in the late 70s and the early 80s and making the playoffs. The Bucs just got bad after that, and the orange became a punchline. But, yeah, the orange could be back here, and I can understand at Arkansas why they don't want any part of burnt orange and those hook-em horns. I get it.
Drew, I'm sort of nostalgic for the days where we might be able to watch, and I didn't know his name was Bucco Bruce. Bucco Bruce versus the Squatting Patriot. I miss these old logos.
Yeah, TJ.
Well, the funny thing is the Bruce Arians caricature logo with the knife in his mouth, and they've said Bucco Bruce 2.0 on T-shirts and some other ones with that. It's a really cool shirt if you can visualize the caricature of Bruce Arians with the knife in his mouth like the old Bucco Bruce.
Well, hey, we've got a guy in this league, Mike Leach, who thinks he's a pirate, so, we're well versed in that.
There we are. TJ, before we let you go, we're both big, I'm a big baseball guy, Orioles, and Phil here is a huge baseball guy, voice of the Arkansas baseball team, but he's a Pirates fan, so we both have terrible teams.
Wow.
You down in Tampa Bay, though, are the Rays going to do it? Are y'all going to have 3
You got to get on the Buccaneer bandwagon. You got no Pirates. You got no Orioles for October. Get on the Tampa Bay bandwagon here, where the Tampa Bay Rays are on the verge of winning the division for a second year in a row. It's pretty incredible that against the Godzillas, the Yankees and the Red Sox that spend like $150 million more than what the Rays spend, that they're going to beat both of those guys and win the division again. So, yes. The love for the Rays is here. The Lightning hockey won the Stanley Cup. I know that's probably not big in Arkansas, but there is a championship vibe right now, and the Rays, as we sit here right now, have the best record in the American League. It's crazy as we head towards October. So let's hope that the Tampa Bay love continues for the Rays, and it starts up again for the Buccaneers tonight. We're liking that. We're liking that vibe, but yes, there's plenty of room on the bandwagon. Jump on for the Rays, guys.
TJ, we appreciate your time. It's a great segment, and have fun. I know you will tonight in the first of Many games.
Look forward to it. You guys have me back on later in the year. Drew, make sure you behave. Glad all is going well there. And here we go with the NFL, guys. Can't wait.
Appreciate it, TJ.
Outstanding. TJ Rives, sideline reporter for the Tampa Bay Bucs. Got a great Twitter handle. Buck Sideline Guy. Pretty much describes it all. And I hate when folks that are actual Tampa Bay fans with the Rays. I'm talking the Rays here. They're the one franchise you can point to for postseason success and regular season success without the big bankroll. I argue about that with my father all the time.
It can be done.
So look, it can be done, just not here in Pittsburgh.
And not in Baltimore. Pete Angelo running anything.
All right, we'll wrap the first hour up right after this at the Phoenix Avenue location, Whole Hog Cafe in Fort.
It's that time of the year again, and all eyes are now turning to football as teams are back on the gridiron to start the football season. As always, BetOnline is your number one spot for all of the pro and college football action this season. Get all of the updated odds, props, and contests, including the online's biggest $500,000 NFL mega contest, the world's largest 200,000 NFL Survivor contest, open now at BetOnline. Here's what you have to do. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 100% welcome bonus. Take advantage of their opening day super promo. Make a bet on the Thursday, September 9th season opener between the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys. And if you lose, your wager's going to be refunded for up to $25 for new customers only when signing up and using the promo code NFL100. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts.